Lesson 2, the hallucinogens. What are the hallucinogens? They are drugs which can produce changes in sensation, emotion, thinking, and self-awareness. The effect of these changes on a youngster may be slight or completely overwhelming, depending upon how strong a dose he takes. Although LSD and marijuana are the two most publicized hallucinogens, a number of others are being abused. These include mescaline from the peyote cactus, psilocybin from the Mexican mushroom, nutmeg, catnip, morning glory seed, STP, DMT, and numerous others. What is LSD? The initials stand for lysergic acid diethylamide, which is an odorless, colorless, tasteless drug considered to be the most potent member of the hallucinogen family. Where does a youngster get LSD? He usually buys it from an illegal source, which he refers to as the street market, and he will likely pay from $2 to $5 a dose. What is a trip? It is the term used to describe the high or mind-distorting experience one has when he takes hallucinogens such as LSD. A trip can last from several minutes to several hours. Some trips, however, on stronger doses have been reported to last as long as 2 to 3 weeks. How can LSD abuse affect a youngster? Psychological effects may include the following. Moods and thought patterns change drastically. Time and space perception becomes distorted. One may suffer delusions, and emotions of fear and anxiety may become greatly intensified. Physical effects observed during LSD trips are increased heartbeat, widening of the pupils, dizziness, headaches, nausea, increase in temperature and blood pressure, cold, sweaty palms, and irregular breathing. What is a bummer? A bummer is a slang term referring to a bad trip, a terrifying drug experience. Some users have reported sensations such as believing their face was melting. Others say they have experienced dying or being dead. And in some cases, following a bad trip, the user has actually taken his own life. What is a flashback? It is the experiencing of the sensations of a trip, days or even weeks following the actual trip. Flashbacks have been reported to occur as long as 2 years after the last use of LSD. Does LSD cause birth defects? Authoritative studies have indicated that the use of LSD may affect hereditary patterns. This means that a child whose mother or father has taken LSD could be born with birth defects. Some doctors, however, believe these studies to be inconclusive. Is LSD a mind-expanding drug? LSD has been irresponsibly promoted for its alleged mind-expanding effects. Research indicates that the very opposite is true, that a user of LSD may lose his ability to be creative and to think or reason clearly. Is it dangerous to experiment with LSD? Yes, because only one trip can result in serious and permanent mental disorders, emotional breakdowns, or can lead to violence and self-destruction. Lesson 3, marijuana. The other widely used hallucinogen is marijuana. What is marijuana? It is a type of Indian hemp with the scientific name of Cannabis sativa. The leaves and the flowering tops of the plant are dried and mixed to form what is commonly referred to as pot, and is usually smoked as a cigarette. It can, however, be smoked in a pipe, brewed into a tea, or cooked into food. Youngsters refer to marijuana as pot, grass, Mary Jane, reefers, joints, or the weed. The user is often referred to as a pothead, tea head, or weed head. How does marijuana affect the body? When smoked, it quickly enters one's bloodstream and acts on the brain and nervous system. As a result, one becomes intoxicated and may remain high for 1 to 10 hours. Other effects are bloodshot eyes, dry mouth, moderate increase in heartbeat, and an increase in appetite. Some users become nauseated and vomit. How may a youngster act when he's high on pot. He may be friendly and gentle, or he can turn belligerent and aggressive, depending upon his emotional makeup. What do youngsters pay for a marijuana cigarette? Usually 50 to 75 cents for each joint, as they call it. The quality, however, is often poor, because the mixture may contain tea leaves, regular tobacco, barnyard manure, oregano, alfalfa, or other ingredients. Can the user become physically dependent on marijuana? The youngster could possibly be safer if the answer to this question were yes. The fact, however, that neither a physical dependence nor a tolerance develops tends to give users a false and dangerous sense of security. Is marijuana a sexual stimulant? Although the drug is not a sexual stimulant, it does tend to lower one's inhibitions to a level where he or she becomes much more susceptible to suggestion. This would mean, of course, that a youngster would be more likely to become sexually promiscuous. What is dusting? Dusting is the practice of the pusher, or marijuana supplier, sprinkling marijuana with small amounts of heroin. Consequently, as the user smokes the dusted marijuana, he unsuspectingly becomes addicted to heroin. Does marijuana smoking lead to the use of other drugs? There is always a possible danger. Surveys conducted by the National Institute of Mental Health indicate that the serious marijuana user does tend to try other drugs. Lesson 4, the stimulants. What are stimulants? Stimulants are drugs, usually amphetamines, which temporarily increase alertness, reduce hunger, and produce a feeling of well-being. They do this by speeding up the activity of the brain and central nervous system. The more prevalent stimulants are benzedrine, dexedrine, and methadone, the last being commonly known as speed or meth. The kids also refer to stimulants as uppers, pep pills, dexies, or bennies. Cocaine, a very expensive drug, is unlikely to be used by most children. Do stimulants have medical value? Yes. Doctors prescribe amphetamines for curbing appetite, for relieving mild depression, and for treating sleeping sickness. Where do youngsters get stimulants? At first, they may simply take them from the family supply of diet or pep pills. Later on, they may buy these drugs from classmates or other illegal sources. What are the common symptoms of a youngster who is using stimulants? These symptoms may include becoming argumentative, overactive, and very talkative, having little appetite for food, being unable to sleep, losing customary inhibitions, becoming confused and behaving irrationally, and becoming violent. What are the harmful effects of stimulant abuse? These could include nausea, vomiting, headaches, irritability, tremors, stomach cramps, and diarrhea. Other dangers are malnutrition, drastic weight loss, and vitamin deficiency. Excessive doses of amphetamines can cause liver and brain damage and high blood pressure. Another danger is the use of dirty hypodermic needles, which may cause conditions such as hepatitis, inflamed veins, or skin abscesses.
Get lonesome right in the middle of the
Paranoia,
crowd.
the irrational, obsessive fear and suspicion of others,
I
is
wanted my
another
credit.
dangerous possibility.
Yes. I am lying.
Speed and meth are slang for
Well, his
methadone.
birthday.
Speed is usually mainline, that is, injected into a vein in order to produce an almost instant high. Speed is more dangerous than any of the other stimulants and is respected as such by even the most experienced addict. Not only can it cause mental disorders such as paranoid psychosis, but an overdose of meth can raise one's blood pressure so high that death results.